Think happy
Okay.
thoughts for
The
life.
happy thoughts. Yeah, I know, right? You know, it's like,
Butterflies and
oh my
stuff
goodness.
like that.
What happened?
I don't know. I'm just
I don't know.
I'm
I'm
just trying to make myself happy.
right. I'm just trying. Well, I'm just trying to still wake myself up. I haven't decided if I'm just feeling out of sorts again, or maybe like the hot flashes are just hot flashing, or I'm actually coming down with something. I know that 2 weeks ago I
Oh
said that I
shit.
felt like I was coming down with something because Jose was sick, but it didn't. It was just like all just a little dramatic, but nothing serious. And then went to Baltimore. It was all cool for the entire week. I came back Friday. We actually did a show on Saturday. And then today I'm kind of like, yesterday I was like, yeah, I was just tired. And then it's like today I'm just like, I feel
Hmm.
sus.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'm like I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It could be it's like, just like getting back into the routine of things is kind of like throwing me off a bit. But
Like from travel and all the other regular bullshit.
right, yeah, exactly. So so I'm just hoping it's just like just me just having to like get back on track, and then it's like I'll be okay. Also the weather really changed too. Like it was like 70 degrees, 70, 80 degrees when I was in Baltimore, and now it's like 60. So,
Oh,
so
well,
now
that'll
like
do it right there. Like, because when I
yeah,
wake up in the mornings, I was every morning I'm like, am I sick? But it's because of the
right.
temperature shift during the night, going to
Yeah.
bed with the AC on, waking up freezing and cutting on the heater to
Right.
knock the
Yeah,
chill out the air.
exactly. Yeah, I know. So it's like I'm kind of wondering if maybe it's just that. It's just like yeah, that sharp shift, from 80 to 60, and it's like, oh, that's why I'm kind of feeling odd. Maybe it's just nothing.
Ew. I hope you guys are better than us. Good
It-
morning, everyone.
Uh,
It is November 11th, 2024,
uh,
and this is the Raging to the Vlogs. Yeah.
uh,
And we're out of practice again, so you're gonna have
right,
to bear with
exactly.
us
Yeah,
for
just
a
a couple
moment.
of days. That's all it takes.
All it takes is skipping one, and it's like, what the fuck is this? And then
Right.
the evolution of Streamyard changing every time we come in here.
Right. Yeah, that's true. They're doing a lot of updates. Oh, yeah.
Well,
So,
they want you to pay that extra money, so we'll
yeah.
talk about that live today too. Because I'm bitching about everything today.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
moody as
All right.
fuck on this
Oh
Monday morning.
no.
You ready?
uh, Absolutely not. But hit it.
Trigger warning, fuck you.
Ha and fuck you. Good
Oh
morning.
my goodness. Good morning. Oh, look, we're twinning today. We
We
both we
oh my
both we both
gosh.
shopped at Eddie Bauer the other day. Actually, no, it's like I got mine's from Costco. We both shopped at
Mine,
Costco.
mine came from the mother-in-law. She ordered it, and it was too small, and it's too big, but it's
Right.
great because it's
Oh,
nice and fluffy.
right. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's because it's that weather. It's that weather. So,
It's
so who's joining us in the chat today?
we got Rue, we got
Hello,
Joseph,
hello,
Michael,
Joseph.
Efrain,
Hello, hello.
Epifern. Good morning, good
Good
morning, good
morning, good
morning.
morning, good morning. And
Ooh.
yes, I see you, our beautiful eyeball people watching us from regions beyond. If you're joining us from Facebook, if you come in from Facebook, I've got a warning from StreamYard today. You're always going to show up as Facebook user. So if you come up as Facebook user, identify yourself
your
in your
name.
comment, just so that we know who you are. It's a glitch with StreamYard or Facebook, but
They're working
that's
to resolve it as
right.
always.
Yeah. Yada, yada. That's why we always
Come
say,
to our
come on over to
YouTube.
you. come over to YouTube, join the sexy people in the chat. And while you're here, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever any of our shows go live. I mean, Jesus Christ. I am just, like I said, I am just like so out of it. Yeah, like that changed. Like that changed Danny since last we did the show. But we might as well get this show started. So hello.
Let's do the things.
Let's do all the things. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I've been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you especially know what that means.
I have anxiety. That means I'm in my shell and have a hard time expressing myself. I find it difficult to engage with others. So everyone shut the up because my anxiety is up here right now.
And I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, which is currently running on Kickstarter as we speak, with the first volume of the Tears of the Mother story arc. It's the first trade paperback collecting issues 1 through 4 of this 8-issue limited series. The link is in the chat and in the show notes. And I am also known for my medieval fantasy drama Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which returns to Kickstarter in January 2025 with issue 9, which I am on. I think I just finished page 18 when I got back. So yeah, we're 18 out of 32. I'm close. I'm getting close to finishing it. In the meantime, you can read both my comics online at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, and Tall Tales, TAILS online.com. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at Daphne Lage, LAGE Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And to tell you more about it, here's Nita.
It's Indie Comics Network. It's my friends, and we talk about comics and stuff, and you can find it on YouTube at Indie Comics Net.
Right. Yes. No. Yeah. No .com for now.
No .com. I'm done with them. They break that link so many times. It's just not worth it anymore. Because every time somebody's up, your link is broken. Your link is broken. Okay. Well, I'm done with it. I'm tired of paying for it because it's a pain in the ass. Because you have to go through a chain of command to get them to fix it every time.
Really? And you can't just like disconnect it and reconnect it again? Because
no. I can't, not on my end. They have to do something to it every time.
That sucks.
It's like, you know what? I don't even want it. I don't even want it.
Oh, that's lousy. I mean, I like DreamHost. It's like I've been with DreamHost forever, and it's like I've never really I don't ever remember having a problem with them. I have more problem with WordPress than I do with DreamHost. So I don't know.
Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, Rob, and congratulations. Congratulations to Rob. Hello. Congratulations to Rob for another successful Nightwolf. I keep wanting to say Snowball. Nightwolf campaign. Yeah, issue 9. So I think that he usually has his books on backer kits. You probably could still pick it up if you go to the campaign, if you missed the campaign. So just look for Nightwolf on Kickstarter. We'll
have a backer kit link. I just have to get it from you.
Oh, okay. So and then now you can pick up your copy, even though you missed the campaign. Yeah, so like I said, I'm a little out of sorts. Like I said, I don't know whether it's just like the change in weather or whether I'm coming down with something. I hope not. So I got my little
getting sick. You just
I know. I got my little thing of Vicks that I just like. Oh, very nice. So it's like, yeah, because Jose uses these little Vaseline containers. So he usually leaves the empty ones. He leaves like I usually find them around the house. So I took an empty one and I put Vicks inside. So it's just really convenient. Did you know that unlike what you see on the TV, my sister told me about this. Lorraine had said that it's like, all this time because of television, she always thought you're supposed to put this up your nose. And it turns out you're not supposed to do that.
No.
You're not supposed to stuff Vicks up your nose. You put it
right here,
right
on your chest.
Right. But because of like TV and the X-Files and shit, everyone's stuffing Vicks up their noses, and that's not what you're supposed to do.
But do you know, like back in the day, that the parents, like when the first sign of illness, it was a go-to was either a daub of Vicks in your mouth, you swallow that shit, or fucking castor oil.
Really? I don't.
Yes,
I mean,
like,
wow.
and it says plain as day, don't eat this shit.
Right?
You know, whatever.
Right? Yeah. It's like just
Good morning,
put a
Grant,
little Robitussin on it, and it'll go away.
Yeah,
it's a Chris Rock joke. Just put Robitussin on it. Put some water in it to make sure you get the last of it. Oh my goodness. So what were you up to this past week?
Holy shit. Okay. I have been rebirthing my social media accounts now that I've been in school and learning, you know, the ins and outs of marketing on social media.
Oh, that's cool.
So I took a huge risk and decided to break away from my 28K following account, which I was really apprehensive about, because it was like, what about the engagement? What about the engagement? You know, type shit. Dude, let me tell you something. When you do things right, it will not matter. I am already matching my same numbers.
Right.
And I have less than 2,000 followers. I've gone through and I've friend requested my actual friends and people that I'm involved with. And went in and single-handedly messaged followers that actually engaged with me. I've sent over 400 messages this past week asking them to come over and to follow the new account or whatever. Majority are already there. And all the rest, it was like people that would just friend you and they just sit there and they don't engage and whatever. But here's the problem with that. If people are not, if they send you a friend request, not followers, a friend request, and you accept it and they do not engage with you, your content is not always distributed to 100% of your audience. So a major issue comes in is they're seeing your shit, but they never engage. There's no back and forth there. You're only good for them. They're no good for you.
Right. Oh, interesting.
So it's better to ask those people, if you want to look at my content and not engaged, then please just follow me. Do not send me a friend request, because you're actually damaging me. That's not a supportive measure for you to be my friend for no reason.
Oh, so you ended up with an unexpected benefit by doing this, because
absolutely.
For those of you who don't know, it seems that Nita's account is like the only one in all of billions of people on Facebook that has this glitch it's not a glitch.
John has it too. Conveniently.
Interesting. So, it's a glitch because she spoke to Facebook directly and they told her that it was a glitch, but I guess not, where she's constantly getting flagged. And, and it's like demonetized. And even though they went to the process of monetizing her, then just as quickly, it's like, oh, you're flagged, you're demonetized, and the whole thing, right? It just got to a point where it's like, you know what, screw it. They said there was something wrong with the account. They don't know what's going on. It's like, okay, then I'll just move to, I guess, like you finally got fed up with it and moved to another account. But I guess the benefit that you didn't realize was that glitch was that you got to cull a lot of the dead weight.
Yes. And there's still a bunch. The reason I haven't closed the other account yet is because there are still people I'm trying to reach out to, because they're not on social media as much as we are. And so that I want to have it there for them. So for right now, the old account I'm only going to be posting links on, whereas the new account is where people can find me, where I'll actually be engaged, responding to messages, memes, and all my usual bullshit. Because it would be stupid to cut it off when you're still getting engagement there. But the engagement on my smaller account matches it tit for tat already.
And boy, do we love it. Well, I like my own.
I like yours too.
Oh, thanks.
And I like mine.
But that's kind of like the funny thing, because it's like, I remember that when there's this program that we're on where they talk about like mailing lists, and they always say to call your mailing list of people who do not engage, right? Because they say that it throws off your numbers, but you kind of have to get over the ego hit that comes with seeing your followers dip because you're cutting out the people who aren't engaging, right?
Right.
But the thing is, though, is that it's better to have a smaller audience that actually engages with you than to have a large pool where your engagement is diluted by the people who aren't engaging with you. And so it looks like nobody's engaging with you.
Right. Right.
So even though you don't have 24K followers, but now it's like it's more, your engagement is more concentrated.
Absolutely. And it is very beneficial, because then guess what happens? Facebook sees you being small and getting all this engagement, and they recommend you more.
Right.
Right. And here I am sitting with this many fucking followers and already being asked to beta test group monetization.
Oh, so you're already at, I mean, because it took you a couple of years to get to that point, but now it's like,
now it's like, hey, yeah, come here. And I'm like, nah, fuck y'all, because you watch me too closely.
Right.
Good.
I mean, so how are you going to like keep the same glitch that was on your other page from jumping to this one?
I'm not going to do the monetization.
Oh,
not anytime soon, which it kind of is a loss, because there are some months with Facebook would fucking pay me some fucking money. I'd be like, yeah, thank you. But for the most part, once the glitch started, I was lucky if I was going to hit $50 a month, and that $50 a month extra right now with Christmas and shit coming was kind of like, what if I can make $250? But what if I can make $500? But what if I do hit $2,000 this month? And so I kept putting it off, and finally I was like, you know what, I have to bite this fucking bullet, because the reality is I depend on engagement to make money elsewhere, more than I depend on Facebook's little fucking bonus if they feel like throwing it to me that month. And I was getting tired of being bent over a fucking barrel by Facebook, which is what was happening, because here I was doing everything you wanted me to do, you told me to do, obeying your TOS,
and they're still punishing
everything, and you were still you refused to remove the restrictions off of, like, seriously, what this boiled down to was a Deja Thoris post. And because yeah, and so like it was, I can't remember which artist it was, but she was clothed. There was no nudity whatsoever.
And you got flagged.
Post. And I got flagged as sexual content. I disputed it, and they removed the restriction and reposted said they removed the restriction and reposted it. However, it left a permanent strike on my account, and I already had one permanent strike, which I did post porn. I absolutely did.
Well, I think it was a Milo Manara piece, right? It was a Milo Manara piece.
Yeah, it was a Milo Manara piece. And I was like, let's see if this flies, because it flies on some of our European friends' freaking profiles. Let's see what we could do here. So I posted it. Yeah, no, not here. And I was okay with that, because according to I can even admit, okay, yes, I violated your terms of service. Fine. Leave that fucking strike.
Yeah, because when you told me it was a Milo Manara piece, I was like, well, yeah, okay, maybe we'll give this one to Facebook.
But when they didn't remove the other one, even after I contacted them, I even went through the oversight review board and everything. And I'm like, how in the fuck can you people even say this is nudity? With all this shit out there, and not to mention all the other shit I had been posting at the time. I was posting uncensored covers left and right. You didn't want to flag them, but you're gonna flag a safe for work fucking Deja Thoris.
Yeah, it became very random.
So I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's be done with this, because I don't want to sit here and invest all my time into this profile knowing one more strike.
And they were going to ban
one more strike, and it's the deleted account. You're going to delete my account. So I bit the bullet and I moved on over, and I absolutely have zero regrets. Zero. I mean, I'm even getting seen in groups. Do you know how hard it is to get engagement in groups that you don't moderate? Like there's one group this morning I made a post in, it has 24 engagement, like with likes and comments. And I'm like, holy shit, I haven't been seen in a group in fucking forever, except for the occasional like, you know? Wow. You talk about it. Like I used to say, oh, you're not shadow banned, you're just unpopular.
Right.
I swear to God, I heard that shit come out of my mouth. And I am fucking sorry to everyone who ever said they were shadow banned. And I was like, no, you're just fucking off. You're not doing it right. No, I was absolutely shadow banned. That if this little small ass account I am building up now is matching a fucking 20, at the time it was 28K. I'm dropping people as they move over. Is matching them tit for tat. Shadow banning is
something's going on.
Very real.
Yeah. I mean,
so I was wrong, and I am sorry
because you saw the math. Because now that's the thing. It's like you didn't. It's not just a hunch. You saw the math. No. It's like, holy shit, the shadow banning thing is real. Because you're saying that this is happening. Allison says I got a strike for violent talk because I quoted a Catholic bishop or something. Yeah, they have no context for that. You know, it's like because they just see whatever word and then that's what they hit you on, not the context of what you're saying. But you know,
the clean slate with the new account is awesome because I get to curate who I want over there all over again. Now that I know more, you know, I had 5 years to play with the other account. So I learned things hit and miss with on my own. But plus the past few months of school have taught me a lot. And so now I can apply and be more cautious in how I curate and how I grow. Because back in the day, somebody send me a friend request, I'd be like, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, be cool. Now it's like, no, why do we need to be friends? Like, are you involved in the industry? Are you an actual comic book fan? A follower is one thing, but a friend you need to be engaged with as much as possible. Even if it is just a like or whatever here and there, it's all beneficial to our growth. And it's like, I hate to say it like that, but it's like, I don't mind even talking to somebody that's a follower if they hit me up in a chat or whatever. That's fine, but I'm going to curate the shit out of my new account.
No Saudi princes.
No
Fiverr guys, no Saudi princes.
No, if I see Fiverr or Kickstarter expert and I'm checking every fucking profile. If I see it, even if you're a follower and I see Fiverr, I block your ass immediately, because those are the people who will go in through your friends list and spam your friends' Kickstarter campaigns. So the second that shit shows up, automatic block. If I fucking click on that shit and you got this header talking about you raised over fuck you, you're out, bro. Like, serious.
Exactly. No, I block on site anybody that says, are you the owner of this campaign? Are you the owner of this account?
Instant block
on site. I don't even, it's like, you know what? Or it's like, oh, is this your campaign? It's like, block.
Is this your first?
Yeah, exactly.
No, bye.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't even
no time.
Right. I mean, it's like, mind you, it's like I'm very horrible at friend requests to begin with. Like I just like ignore a lot of my social media, the back end of a lot of my social media to begin with. So, you know, but Fiverr, if you're a Fiverr bro, you know, you pop your head up, I'm there with the little whack-a-mole hammer. You know, but because they never speak normally.
No,
they never speak like a human being. It's always,
and they immediately ask you to DM them if you do respond.
Right.
Like, why do I need to DM you?
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Oh, how do I support this campaign? Sometimes they try to just like, oh, I would love this. How do I support your campaign? And it's like,
click the link.
Click the link. There are instructions there. It's like, what? Why are you? No, bro. Oh my goodness. So me, I was away for the week because my sister was having surgery on her foot. So I had to help take care of her in her apartment while she was getting that done. And, you know, so it was like pretty like a quiet week. Even though I took work with me, I made it a point to pretty much not do anything. It's like, I don't know. It's like there are just some moments where I just went, you know what? It's like, I have a lot going on, and constantly doing it is not really helpful either. Like I was really like feeling burnt out. So I decided to like just force myself to not do anything. Um and yeah, so it's like I just so in the end it's like I just ended up spending the week just like cleaning, doing laundry, and reading my sweat books. So,
Oh my
that's right,
God.
this is my copium. So I ended up reading both of these books while I was gone. This is from the Ice Planet Barbarian series. It's like I wanted to finish the series before the next book is released. So it's like at least I'm caught up, and then the next book comes out in January, so I'm ready for it. So it's like copium, right? And
let me answer this real quick.
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, so we don't do interviews on this show, but I'm gonna put my link in the chat. You can message me there, or just send me a direct message, and a friend request or whatever, right. And I can talk to you because we do have a network of hosts, and a lot of them do interview segments. So hit me up here.
Right. Yeah. So either interviews or panel. They're panel shows.
Yeah, panel shows.
Show off your campaigns or your books on. So yeah, there's. I think we have plenty of options.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So let me do a little quick haul though before I guess just to kind of like. So I'm always, especially lately, I'm always on the lookout for authors who kind of skirt that line between comics and novels. Right. And what's really funny is how lately it's like I'm finding more and more of them. Actually, there's this one novelist. Oh, what was her name? Leon Ridley, I think. She does a lot of the monster erotica books. And she does a comic on her Patreon based on one of her books. And it's like, oh, okay. So it's enough that I already suspect this woman's a furry because she hires furry artists and everything, right, to do her covers. But it seems like she does a comic on her Patreon as well. And there was another author who they're taking their book and converting it to a webtoon comic as well. So I'm like going, oh, this is interesting. Like I'm seeing more and more of it. And there's always this thing about like manga, which you have the manga and then like the whole trend with light novels coming out. Right. So you can't say that manga kids don't read because they wouldn't be putting out so many light novels if they didn't read.
Right.
So you have like the comic, you have the manga, and then you have like the light novels that go with it, right? And even with the anime, a lot of anime, there's a lot of light novels. Like Violet Evergarden is based on a light novel series.
Right.
Goblin Slayer has a corresponding light novel series. I have one of the books. I've yet to read it, but I have it. And what's really funny is also seeing how many Korean books are beginning to do that too. So I've been kind of keeping an eye out on manhwa. It's Korean manga. It's manhwa, right? So and the thing is though, these books are usually mostly in color, like because they all do. Because we got to remember, Webtoons is a Korean company. Right. So a lot of the Korean manhwa that's coming out, they're all in color because they start off as webcomics. Right. So I know I showed this one already. Right. So this is Under the Oak Tree, which is one of these. It's a fantasy manhwa. And it originally started off as a webcomic on a website called Manta. So it's a fantasy comic. But I'm a little confused by it because I don't know which came first, the novel or the comic. I'm not sure because people kind of like talk about them interchangeably.
It's a beautiful book.
I bought the novel that corresponds with it. So I think that I kind of have a suspicion the novel came first and then they did the comic to go with it. So the fact that it's just like very normal, it just seems very normal to like have both, you know. And you know, and the funny thing is that for what, so this is the novel, it's not illustrated, right? So this is the novel that I got. And then this, like I said, this is the corresponding webcomic. And the funny thing is like, you know, like here I keep talking about like, oh, would readers, you know, would novel readers read comics and vice versa? And it's like realizing that this is not an issue with manga and manhwa. This is not an issue, because it's like, from what I've been reading, the people who read the comic, they read the novel. The people who read the novel, they go read the comic.
Everybody loves the director's cut.
Right, exactly, right?
Right.
Because it's like, because a lot of, you know, like a lot of people say, oh, it's like you really need to read the novel because then the comic will make more sense, because, you know, you're going to have stuff cut out and whatnot, right? And it's the same thing with the manga that have the light novels. It's like, oh yeah, you read the Goblin Slayer. It's like, oh yeah, but did you read the light novels that go with them, right? So there doesn't seem to be an issue with this, right? So you know, so the more I see this, the more kind of like I feel like I'm in the right direction with doing the novelization. Although at this, it's still in the rough stages. It's still in the first draft stages that I'm just posting to my Substack. If anybody wants to read it, I just posted up chapter 7 yesterday. So if you want to head on over to my Substack, you can read chapter 7 of Eagle Raven, the novelization. And I don't know, it was just kind of like funny, you know, kind of like the more I don't know whether it's like kind of like whether this is something that's growing, or because I'm looking for it, I'm now seeing it more often. You know, because up until this point, people are saying, oh, you got to do one or the other. You know, you either got to do a comic or you got to do a novel, but you know, you're not going to get an overlap. But now I'm kind of seeing more and more people doing that. You know, like, wait a minute, there is an overlap. It's just kind of
there
like,
always has been, but it's getting bigger.
Right.
It's definitely growing.
Yeah.
Or it could, like you said, could just be because we were looking for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I found another author, another self-published author recently, where she does illustrated novels, and she has like a similar, not as good as this, but she has a similar, you know, style kind of, you know, and you know, and like I said, I'm just finding more and more of these people. So you know, so I like collecting them to kind of like get a
Western mentality.
You know, it's like as to what my options would look like, right? So it's like, it's kind of like, so it's kind of funny. So I'm kind of wondering, like, when I get to Monster Erotica Con in Baltimore next year, as to like, okay, I'm gonna try to find out from the horse's mouth. It's like, okay, what's the deal here? You know, what is it that you guys are seeing on your end with the whole like using comic book style artwork and like cartoony illustrative artwork, and you know, like, who's crossing over? What are you seeing? You know, it's like, so I'm looking for, actually, in the end, it kind of makes me glad that I'm not working the show. Not that I could have gotten a table anyway. I don't right now. My stuff is not what they want. Because at least this way I can now talk to the authors directly. It's like, okay, I'm kind of new to this space. What's the deal here with the cartoon art and the books, and the novels, you know, and how does that overlap, and what does your audience look like, you know? So you know, so it's like, so I'm always keeping an eye out for this. So this one though, this is another book that I just recently picked up. Actually, I bought it twice. I bought it on Amazon first, but it came out, but they shipped it so Krugered, like it was damaged. And for the amount of money that I paid for it, I was like, no, I'm sending it back. Only for Jose to tell me like his comment, like, oh, go to this place and this place. And it was like half off. So I was able to get a pristine version.
For less.
So yeah, for less. Yeah, exactly. So this book actually came out through Image. After New York Comic Con, I had learned about this book on Visenia's live stream on Twitch, because she had brought her paper. She had the paperback volumes that she took to New York Comic Con to get signed by the artist. And I'm like, wait, what is that? It's like, what is that? I've never heard of it. What is that? Right?
Natural is greatness. That's what that is.
Yeah. So it's an Italian comic that that Image had published, right? And it's essentially a furry book. But it's kind of like, if you like Oscar Martin, like Cannibal, was it Cannibal World or something like that? The series is like, this is kind of similar. So yeah, and it's like, it's all these furry characters and beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, it's like probably sent you the same one they sent me. I sent it back and they sent it out to somebody else. Yeah, and what was worse was that it was damaged. You could tell that it was damaged before they put it in the box.
Oh yeah, it was fucking beat the fuck up.
Yeah,
that whole fucking the spine was crushed.
Right, it was just like it was like it was all
and all across the top.
And it's just like, what the hell, I
damaged my own books. Thank you very much.
Right, exactly. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. Yeah, because I definitely. Oh, here was another thing too, right? So we were, as far as I know, it's still available. Although I did consider this a little hard to find. But then again, I was specifically looking for the hardcover. I think you can get the paperbacks easily, but I wanted the hardcover omnibus because that's just how I roll right now. It's like, I don't want to, it's like, if I can get it in one shot, I'd rather do that. But it really is a beautiful book. So I'm looking forward to reading that. Oh, but the thing is, though, with Under the Oak Tree, though, because I started reading the comic, this shit is bleak as fuck. I mean, if you thought Game of Thrones was depressing, this shit is even more so, and it's like, and this is the second Korean comic that I've read. And because the first one was Killing Stalking. Good, so good, so good. But that one, I kind of expected it to be bleak and depressing because it's about serial killers, right? It's about a guy who falls in love. It's that this loser guy who falls in love with a serial killer. And it's real. And again, that one's like bleak and depressing and shit. And then it's like, but I was expecting it because that was the theme, right? And then I picked this up and I'm like going, what the fuck? This is also bleak and depressing. And it's like, I'm not even that far in. And it's like, I gotta stop. This is way too heavy. And my sister, she watches the Korean shows and things all the time. And I asked her, I was like, yo, what's the deal? I was like, are they all like this? And she goes, yeah, pretty much a lot of them are, And I go, oh, I guess
they're either bleak and depressing or some kind of doofy K-drama, which are fun,
wrong, like they kind of go from like one extreme to the other. And even then my sister says that even in the goofy K-dramas there's like those hints, because I go, oh, I guess Japanese imperialism is still hanging over their heads after all these years. And she goes, yep. It's like, so I kind of have to kind of get used to that a bit, like that overall mood, because look, it's even dark for me. I'm like going, oh my god, it's like, I don't know if I can handle this, Oh, one more thing though, something that she gave me, the funniest thing though. So my sister is a vet tech anesthesiologist, and she was working at a clinic, right? And I guess like she was just talking to one of the other techs there, and it was one of those things where they ask, where it's like, oh, so what do you do for fun, right? And the tech that my sister was talking to says like, oh, you'd think it's weird. And she goes, what? It's like, no, it's like, it's like, look, it's like, I watch Korean dramas all day and read manga. It's like, how weird could it be? And she goes, oh, I write fantasy smut novels. and Lorraine goes, oh, what a coincidence. So does my sister. So she got a copy of the woman's book. So I have to read this too. So this is the book that the vet tech friend wrote.
This is greatness.
Apogee by A.K. Wetzel. I'm pretty sure it's a pseudonym. A lot of these women write under these pseudonyms. I'm probably one of the only jerk offs that just want my name on everything. It's like, I don't care. It's like, you know. So it's just really funny to like go. It's like, oh yeah, it's like, you know, you just talk to somebody casually. It's like, yeah, I write, I write fantasy smut, you know, as a hobby. It's like, oh, well done, good for you,
Nice.
You know, it kind of reminds me of this story of this anthropologist, where as a goof, this was like I think at the beginning of the trend, right, years ago, like when Amazon started opening up the whole Kindle thing, and it was just the beginning of the monster erotica trend. And this anthropologist, as a goof, she wrote a Bigfoot erotica book, and she said that in her entire career she has never made as much money as she did writing Bigfoot smut.
Oh my gosh.
You know, and she's like an actual, you know, scientist. It's like, I've never made so much money. Oh no. So it was just really funny. So yeah, that's part. So this is my haul for this week. So I have a lot more reading. So but I just tried to keep it chill this week, because it's like also, I was kind of like strategizing too as to about Baltimore Comic-Con, you know, especially if we're going to go over there, because it's like, I got to figure out my sister's futon situation. Because it's like,
we could just smuggle Daphne. Right?
Because it's like,
I won't poke you in the back. I mean, there's a benefit there, right?
Right, exactly, right. So, you know, so yeah, because it's like, because it's just like, I don't know, it's just kind of like, you know, getting used to like being on the floor all the time, because she doesn't have normal furniture. You know, it's like she just has this the tatami mats and the futon, and then it's like the futon is both the couch and the bed. So it's like, so we're pretty much just like lying there, you know. It's like I'm reading, she's playing, you know, she's either watching her Korean dramas or she's playing video games on her phone, and we're just like all on this futon. And it's like, I'm trying to imagine, it's like, oh shit, it's like, you know, what if Nita comes? How are we going to do this? All three of us are not going to fit on this futon.
I can play on the floor. I'm good.
You know,
I'm still good. I can still get up off the floor.
You know, and then it's like, you know, so probably, yeah, I would have to like kind of like figure out like, okay, do we need to get an air mattress? Can we separate? Because it's two futon mattresses on top of each other. So maybe we just like, I put the futons next to, so it just covers up the entire floor.
I slept on the floor in Dallas Fort Worth Airport. I'll be all right for a couple nights.
Okay. You know, and then it's like
air mattress is just more to have to fucking pack and all that bullshit.
Yeah, it's like I don't like
I need a blanket and a pillow.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't like air mattresses. Right. I mean, I'd
rather be on the floor.
Yeah. At least it feels solid, you know. So yes, I was just thinking about Baltimore, and then it's like when we came back. So when I came back on Friday, right? So Jose had this signing at a library in Long Island, you know, one of these little mini library shows, a library convention. And honestly, I didn't want to go, but once we were there, and it's like, I don't know, the environment of the library was really nice, and just being in a library, and it was just like, you know, this is, you know, even though it's like nothing was happening, nothing was going on, it was actually just nice to be there, you know, and just like hang out. And we got to see some people there. Pete Vasquez says hello. You know,
I love it.
Yeah. He was fun. He was telling some really funny stories. But yeah, it was just a one day thing. And it kind of like, I mean, what was funny was that, we're sitting there and like I said, I'm already out of it because it's like, especially on Saturday, it's like, I didn't even catch my first wind, much less my second. I was just exhausted the entire day.
Right.
It was like I could not wake up at all. And, so I was kind of like, we were just kind of like hanging out, and it's like, and I was telling Jose, it's like, just being here makes me have regrets about signing up for Baltimore Comic-Con. But that could have just been me just being really, really tired, know. Because I'm like going, it's like, I don't know. It's like, do I really have the energy for this? But again, it's like, I was speaking from a very biased position because honestly, I could have shut my eyes at the table and been out. That's how tired I was. And, so then it's like, I'm like going, it's like, well, I'm already committed for Baltimore. So it's like, it's going to be next year. So, at least it'll give me, at least I can have the year to mentally prepare myself. Right. So then it's like, I was thinking about like the other conventions that I was like, that I'm trying to get to. There's like, so I want to sign up for New York, for New York, was it Anime New NYC?
Okay.
Which is held at the Javits Center. At least it's in Manhattan. And Lorraine said that she would drive out here to help me with that one. Then there's Otakon, which is in Washington, D.C., which my sister also says, it's like, oh, that's like a commute. That's no big deal. So we could do that, right? So the 2 anime shows. And then this was kind of a punt. This was kind of a weird one. It's 5 Point Fest. 5 Point Fest. It's in Brooklyn. And it's a show. It's mostly a vinyl art toy show. But they said that but if you do comics and zines, that you'll fit in there too. And then there's no question. So
conveniently enough, you have vinyl toys.
Right. And conveniently enough, right? I have the Silvermane toy right there. And I go, you know what? Maybe we should try out this show at least once just to see, if we can kind of move more of these toys, just to kind of like get a vibe for it,
Right.
So all of these shows, I'm not sure about 5 Points, but all of these shows are essentially lottery again. I really hate that system. Like I understand why they have it, but it's like, Jesus Christ, it's like, it's so hard to schedule when you don't know, even going to be there. Right. And so the lottery for all 3 of these shows open in March. So I have to really pay attention when spring comes along to make sure that I don't miss the applications for any of these lotteries. Right. Especially since I'm going to be competing for 2 of them with 17-year-old girls who are chronically online. So, I'm going to have to probably have a spreadsheet with all my information and just try to copy and paste as quickly as possible. But it's like, it just kind of like, just being at this library show, as much as I liked it, I was like going, I don't know. It's like, do I have the fortitude to do this again? It's like, now, mind you, I'm not talking about like what we were doing back in the day when we were literally doing a convention once a week. Like they're like during this, like it would be kind of like twice a month. And then during the summer, there were months we would be doing like 1 show a week. Every week we were at a show. I am not looking to going back to that. I honestly don't think there's even enough shows for us to do that anyway. But so well, of course, it's like what I was so.
Hey, Melissa.
Oh, hey. The lottery system is completely random, so you can't even create a better application to get a better chance. Yeah,
right.
You're in or you're not. So, so, so I decided, like, okay, you know what? Baltimore is the only one that I'm really confirmed for, essentially, because I bought the table, I paid for it, So it's like, okay, let me go back to my idea that we were talking about the other day, last week, about how to improve my table, right? So I just wanted to, right? So I just wanted to show everybody what I'm kind of playing around with. You see, because in the end, this is kind of like my favorite part of the process is this whole DIY bullshit that goes with building a proof, building a booth, a table. So let me see. Okay, so here it is. That's I want to show this, right? So that was the table that I had for Baltimore 2 years ago. So this is kind of like the base that that I'm kind of working with, because I do like the overall layout of it, but as you can see, it's really, really busy. It's very, very busy. You can barely see anything, So, but the thing is, I like the base of it. I like this rack that's here, and I like the way I have my cubes set up here. The only thing, so what I'm planning on doing is getting like a proper table runner made, and getting like getting rid of this busy, well, I did, because now I use it for my parakeets now. I get rid of this busy blanket, and then get like a plain like gray, because I like the castle idea that I was building on before, but I'm not going to actually build a castle on
Fort Daphne.
Right,
No,
yeah,
Fort Daphne. Let's do it.
No. So the base, so the base color that I'm going to run with is the same as my website. It's going to be like this gray damask. But so at least the books will kind of like pop more. So when we were talking the last time, right? It's like, so someone in the chat had suggested that on the cubes that I put comic book panels, so that people can tell from a distance there are comic books here. Especially since even though I'm at a comic book convention, people sometimes they get surprised when they see comic books. They want to say, "Oh, do you have a Deadpool print or something?" And it's like, no, it's like, So at least, if I have comic book panels decorating the booth, then it's like, okay, that there are comics here. And then it's like Rob had said, it's like, oh, so in this space, like put like open comic books so that people can actually see the inside of the books, and see the artwork. So that's what I'm kind of like planning to do here, right? Kind of like, and then it's like this middle gap would be like where my little register area is. So this is what I started playing around with. I actually found a picture of one of the grids, exactly one of those grids on online. And I used it to create kind of like this mock-up of that little tower that I have on the table. And what I want to do is like, so here, so I want to do something. So I have like these flat panels, so it'd be easy to like put stuff, like display stuff on there. Right. And then like, so this is what it looks like on the other side of this. So on all these little grids here would probably be the comic panel images. So, so I haven't like, what happened?
People are commenting from Facebook. Identify yourselves, Facebook users, because there's a glitch right now that it just shows up like this.
Right, Facebook user. Yeah, that all we're seeing is Facebook. Hey, I'm sure we know who you are. Just confirm who you are, because Streamyard. Facebook,
one is Pops, hey Pops, and the other is Marv. Good morning, Marv.
Hello. So yeah, so I kind of have like, okay, let me do like these marbleized like pages that's going to like give me like a flat surface to display stuff, and then I'm going to have like the actual comic book panels here in these spaces. So I'm still playing around with the idea, but like I said, this is my favorite part of the thing of planning for a convention. But I'm, so in the end though, I'm thinking more of what would like if you go to a bookstore and you see books like a book display, what would it look like? Like if I was putting my trade paperbacks in a bookstore, making a display for it, what would it look like? So it's because I'm not going to have it's not like I'm going to have like stickers or prints or whatever,
Right.
It's like filling up this space. This is going to be part of the
attraction.
The attraction. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Because I want to keep, I don't want my table looking sprayed edges. Yeah, we sure do. We sure do.
Love that shit.
Yeah, it's like, because it's like that was also the other reason why I got this version of the book, because it's like it had pretty much everything I was, interested in, sprayed edges. Yeah, so it's like, so because because for this show that we did at the library, we only brought trade paperbacks. We didn't bring comics except for dollar sampler books. Those are the only comics that we brought. Everything else is trade paperback. So the only comics that I plan on bringing is the sample comics. So that, these are what's collected in the trade paperbacks. So you're going to have like the sample comics here. And then it's like, okay, if anyone looks through it, it's like, okay, well, these are collected in the trade paperbacks. That way you don't have to open the trade paperbacks. And then kind of like imagine this just being the display, where I'll probably have like books shown off here. You have the panels, you'll have the toy there. Most likely I'll probably get lights because I love my lights.
Absolutely.
I love the lights. But just kind of like make it like more cohesive and less busy, because like just looking at it like this, like, oh my God, how did anybody see anything on this table?
Busy.
It's very busy. So so you know what, this is kind of like what's making me all right, maybe it's like I'm kind of overreacting with regretting having buyer's remorse for going to Baltimore. So it's like, maybe if I get this done nice, I'll enjoy myself. But so that's kind of like what like just how I'm kind of like, okay, how do I get like into the mood of getting back into this, right? Because like I said, the library show was quiet, and and the thing is though, like out in Long Island, even though we weren't, we were that far out. For us, it's that far out. Even for a convention, it's like, because you need a car to get everywhere, like going someplace requires a commitment. If you have to get into a car, you're committing to go somewhere, right? So,
right.
I don't know. We didn't have much hope for the show because of that, and it's like, look, if there was, what did Jose say? Like, if there was 75 people who showed up at the library, he would have been surprised. And I think a lot of people there, most of the people there were just there because they were going to the library already. And there just happened to be a show there. I mean, there were some people who were prepared, like the kids came in costume. There were some cosplayers there. Honestly, there were more cosplayers than kids, to tell you the truth, and they all hung around like this one particular table of another cosplayer. So, and it's like, and they were just there to show up, what, it's like pretty much, it's everything that people complain about cosplayers. We saw it at the library too. Like the cosplayers just showed up to hang out with each other and not really engage with the other tables, so it's like, it is what it is, right? But like I said, it was just like in the end, it was nice just to be able to get out and you know, and do a show, you know, and gossip with people. You know, I mean, it's kind of funny because it's like Pete. We've known Pete for a bit. I mean, I've seen him at, you know, when we would do Eternal Con. You know, I think like one show we actually sat next to him the entire time. But it's like this was like pre-COVID. You know, and then it's like to realize at this show, it's like holy shit! It's like you know all these people that in our circle that like you know it's like you know it's that right now we only pretty much know as online people. And Pete was like, oh yeah, it's like, you know, he was telling us, you know, it's like, oh, he's talking about, you know, a whole bunch of other people that's like holy shit, like the world really is a little, our circle really is small.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of funny, you know, and like it actually threw me off when he mentioned you. You know, it's like, oh, tell Nita, you know, tell Nita I said hi. It's like, oh, what? How did you know Nita? You know,
well,
like,
because Nita had 28,000 fucking followers within our circle. So I mean, at one time, you know.
Yeah. So it was just really, it really like threw me for a loop that they were talking about the people that like we really do all know each other. Like our circle is so small. Hey, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Like our circle is so small. We really do know each other. We know everybody.
Right.
You know. So it was just funny. So it was just like, you know, so it was nice. It was cozy. Being in a library, I swear to God, a convention held at a library and a convention held at a museum. Oh, that's the other convention we have to look into next year. There's a convention called CradleCon, which is held in an aviation museum. And it is that is really talk about atmosphere. It is really nice. I think like one year our table was next to a replica of the atomic bomb. Fun stuff, fun times. You know, and you know, so it was just like, yeah, it was just like really, really nice atmosphere. So we're probably gonna look into getting into that show. Now that I'm kind of like a little familiar as to how to get into the air, how to go to the air, because like I said, we don't drive. Although maybe by this time next year we'll have a car. But yeah, it's just like this whole getting back into the whole convention scene. Because in the past, if there was a show, we would just sign up for it and go. You know, like it was just like, you know, but also it's like that was back in the day when like tables were like $75, you know, right. And it's like you just show, or if you were lucky, you could just, you know, you say, oh yeah, I'm an artist, and they'd give you a free artist alley table. You know, that was really back in the day. Now it's kind of like, it's like, you know, when you're talking about like each table, you're spending $200, $300, you know, and it's like, and they're kind of out of the way now. And the audience is really different at these shows. And, you know, it's kind of like now it's like we have to strategize as opposed to just like, oh, just go. Oh, this show, let's just go. You know, it's like, oh, there's this show here. Let's just go. There's another show. Let's just go. Now it's like, what's the audience like? Maybe we should look it up. And then
curate all of your experience, conventions, social media, websites, all of it. It's so important.
I mean, it's like, you know, it's like, thank you to everybody who on YouTube who just films these things.
Yeah, they are.
Well, the ones in churches are kind of weird too. Yeah, we did a lot of those back in the day too. Church basements, those were always interesting. Oh, and kind of like what was it? Foreign Legion halls. What were those things? Like Knights of Columbus and stuff like that. You know. Now you don't see a lot. Yeah, you really don't see a lot of those anymore.
We tainted their sanctuaries.
Yeah, I know, right? You know, so yes, it's like we have to like do all this research about a show just to even like, oh, do you think it's worth going? Is it worth the money? This, that, and the other thing. Like I'm willing to give Baltimore another try, but it's more because my sister's right there, you know, rather than that it's like, you know, it's like, yeah, you know, so it's like, yes, it'll be easy, right? Because we're gonna come out here. My sister's gonna come here to pick up us and all our stuff, drive us out to Baltimore. We get to stay with her. Like the convention center, I think is like 5 blocks away.
Oh, damn.
It's like a
wait, hold up. Question.
Yeah.
5 New York blocks away, or?
Well, all I can say is a 15-minute walk.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I can only go because I'm not used to Baltimore. I got lost.
15-minute walk, I understand.
Yeah.
But just right around the corner, 10 miles down the road, I do not.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's like So it's a 15-minute block. 15-minute walk from my sister's house to the convention center. So it's very convenient. So, and like I said, and then my sister, like was going to drive us out, then drive us back. And, so it's kind of, that's part of it. I don't think I would have done Baltimore otherwise. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. It's just like, yeah, it's just a lot of vetting. It's a lot of vetting now. It's like I'm looking at, and the thing is, it's like, you know what? It's like, I think Randy had the right idea. He was on Jose's show yesterday, and they were talking about conventions. And like Randy, I think, was saying that it's like he got so frustrated with the convention scene that he said that in the end, it was easier for him to run his own convention the way he wanted. And that's what he did. He ran a convention for a while. And it was the type of convention, like if you can't get the convention that you want, sometimes you really do have to build it yourself, And this is the build it and they will come type, scenario. It's like, so he did it,
right?
And it's like, because also he was saying too that, part of also what changes the audience for a convention is the fact that they're not only are the tables expensive, but they're expensive to get into.
Huh.
It's like when it's like if you have to pay, like, oh my God, it's like, what is it? The tickets for New York Comic Con was $200 a person. It was like $175 or $200 a person. It was very expensive, and it was just like, you as a family are not going to that show.
No.
And it's like, and it's like, even if a convention, it's like, and we've been to some convention, it's like $30 a person. And it's like, yeah, but if you're still a family of 4, you're still spending over $100. Right, exactly.
It's $200 for us to walk out this fucking door, let alone go to something fun.
Right. So it's like, so how many times have we been at the convention? Oh, I'd love to buy something, but I spent all my money already. And it's like the show opened 10 minutes ago. Right. But it's like, because that's the cost of entry. It's getting there, the cost of entry, the food, and it's like, and then it's like whatever you have budgeted out for what you want to get. So it's like you don't have that discretionary income for little surprises. Like if you do come across an artist that you've never seen before and you have like, oh, what book is this? Right? It's like you don't have, that's not in your budget. So and then it's like on top of the fact that people are there, it's like, oh, well, I'm here to see, all the voice actors and the celebrities.
I want to play with the hobbits.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I want to buy Funko Pops or something. And it's like, and it's like their attention is not like I kept hearing about New York Comic Con.
Attack on Titan Sword.
Right. That it's like the only people in art that unless you worked for Marvel or DC and you had like some kind of street cred like that those are the people who were doing fine at New York Comic Con. If you were some kind of like small publisher that nobody's heard of with no real publisher backing, and I'm not talking about a basement
you're
publisher.
You're going to spend more than you're going to make.
Right. It's like no one was really paying attention to you. It's like, oh, it's not Spider-Man, it's not Deadpool, it's not the X-Men. You didn't draw, you're not Peach Momoko. I don't need to know you. It's like, I don't need to look at your stuff. I'm not interested. Oh, you're not Scholastic, you're not, Penguin Putnam, you're not, you're not Crunchyroll. so it's like, yeah, it's like, I don't know. Right. So it's
but
like,
that curiosity is not even there.
Right,
There
exactly.
That curiosity has disappeared from the cons.
Right. Oh yeah, it's been gone for a while, and it's like, yeah, you see, and that's the thing too, especially with New York Comic Con. It's the weekend this next year. It's the weekend before Baltimore, and I know that when I mentioned it, everyone, you included, say, don't do two cons back to back.
Plus, if you go to NYCC first, you're going to end up with con crud. You're going to feel like ass the whole time there, and we're not. It won't be fun.
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, so it's like, yes, I just commit to Baltimore. Although, I don't know. It's like Jose was taught. Oh yeah, no, it's ridiculous. Once that guy at New York Comic Con told me he was not going to give me an artist only table because I was a nobody, and he didn't want me getting in the way of a famous person wanting a table.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, I still fill out the form now every year just out of spite, just to see, it's like, maybe one day, but it's kind of turned like Mocha too, where it's like, I know I'm never getting into that show. I'm just filling out the form as a formality just to see what happens. But it's like, that's another show I'm never going to get into either.
Right.
But the thing is, though, is like, yeah, those are expensive shows. In the end, would I really want to be there anyway? So, it's like, I don't know. So that's kind of like so I'm just kind of like trying to like, okay, what can I do at my table? Let me do that. And then of course all the actual drawing I have to do. So, I got to get back. Yeah, because I have my commissions that I still have. Busy. Yeah, I have to get back to the commissions for House of Bob. I have to finish issue 9. Jesus Christ! Eventually, I have to like, do issue 7 of Tall Tales. I have like all of the Oswald stuff that I have to do for Jose too. So yeah, so I'm busy. So regardless, so fantasizing about shows right now is actually kind of irrelevant. So so that's where I'm at. How about you, Nita? Any housekeeping or anything that
no,
aside from everybody signing up for your other account on Facebook?
Please follow my new account on Facebook. Right. The difference because of the size. It doesn't matter really. You just follow either one.
Right.
Because if you want the more curated experience, if you're just there for links and comic covers, hit the main, the 27 or 25, whatever it's at now account. Mm-hmm. And if you want all the other bullshit, you can find me at, I think it's Indie Comics Net 2, I believe. I don't know. I'll post the links later.
Right. Yeah.
And speaking of links, be sure to check out the show notes. We got some great comics in there and stuff.
Right, and stuff. There's always stuff. Always stuff.
I'm out of practice, Daphne.
Yeah, I know. We missed a couple of days, and that's it.
Yeah. Missed 2 shows, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anymore.
Right, yeah. No, because what's funny is that Mom called me this morning, and she goes, "Oh, I don't see are you doing a show today?" And I go, "Well, we're supposed to." And she goes, "Oh, because I don't see it like a pending show on." She didn't see a pending show on her feed.
Oh,
and I go, I don't know. Maybe Nita just forgot to put. I don't know. It's like, whatever Nita does or doesn't do, that's what we're gonna do. If she forgot that there's a show today, I'm okay with that. But then when I came into the Streamyard, I saw the show. So I was like, okay, so we're doing a show. So there you go. So we did a show, and now we just have to get used to it again. So
right.
Oh my goodness. So. I guess that's it for us today. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, all of our eyeball people, for watching us from regions beyond. Thank you so much for joining us today, listening to us ramble. We always thank you for that.
Yes.
It's like, look, it's
why are you here?
Yeah, it's either we're rambling to you guys or we're just rambling to each other. So either way, it's happening. But thank you so much for listening in and enjoying, getting something out of this. Oh my goodness. So if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and all my upcoming campaigns and all that stuff, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook. If you are interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress updates. And you can find me on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, for my semi-weekly art live streams, Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm not sure if I'm going to have one this week because I got to catch up with all my work first. So hopefully like next week. I don't know. It depends on how I feel on Wednesday. But it's a draw stream, 2 hours from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. It's kind of like, we're at a convention. I'm talking to everybody in the chat, except nobody has to worry about blocking my table. So it's a lot of fun. It's usually a lot of fun. And remember that you can also read Ego Raven, Air the First Unicorn, for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales. That's TAILS online.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears of the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday. And remember, you can also read Ego Raven and Tall Tales on Webtoon. It is uploading. Ego Raven uploads every Tuesday on Webtoon, and Tall Tales uploads every Thursday on Webtoons. We are now into the second issue on both the series. So if you want to read Ego Raven and Tall Tales from the beginning, you can catch it on Webtoons. Thank you for everybody who is, I guess, like subscribing and rating the two series. Thank you so much. So it's on Webtoons. Go over there if you want to read it. It's all different ways that you can read my comics before a Kickstarter goes live. And remember that, yes, that Tall Tales Tears of the Mother is currently live right now with volume 1 of collecting issues 1 through 4 of this 8-issue limited series. The link is in the show notes and in the chat. So yeah, getting used to it. That's it for us. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. So thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.